Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm a little nervous for public speaking. I'm not used to speaking in public. I like to be a quiet one. But, I want to start off by congratulating you all, because you all have dealt with some of the craziest people for the last 2 years that anybody could imagine, but you're still here. So that's a testimony to you, whether it's babysitting, house sitting, or the husband that's consoling his wife that swears God don't want her to be a nurse because the printer just ran out of ink. The question I get asked the most is, why did you choose this profession? And they look at me and you don't look anything that a nurse look like. But I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I was a quality control inspector for years, and then on August 11th, 2004, I had a little girl who was born with a heart condition. She had to have her first heart surgery when she was 3 days old. And being a father, I wanted to make sure that I could take care of her if anything happened. So I tried to find an infant CPR class and ended up in a CNA class and loved it. And you never know how much you hate your job until you find one that you love. So I did that for a few years, and then I decided to go back to nursing school. Before I could make that decision, I had to go home and talk to the boss. No, not my wife, not this time. My daughter. I'm not sure which one of them is the boss, I just know it's not me. Most of the time I just agree with them so I can feel like I'm in control. So I sat down with my daughter. She was like 8 at the time, and I said, baby, daddy's going back to nursing school. And she said, you'll be able to help more people? I said, well, I'll be able to help them a different way. And she said, well, Daddy, you have to do it, because that's what you do, you help people. I said, well, it's official, baby, I'm going back to nursing school. So she said, you have to make me a promise. And I said, what's that? She said, you have to promise that you'll do your best and that you'll never give up. And I said, I promise. And she said, no, Dad, a promise don't mean anything if you don't say it. So I said, okay, I promise I'll do my best and I won't give up. So we started nursing school, and she was right there with me. And one day I was in the room reading, and it was about inserting a catheter. So she walks in, she said, Daddy, what's a catheter? So I said, baby, it's something nurses use to put in people and help them use the bathroom. She said, put it where? So as a father trying to tell a 10-year-old, of course I'm sweating. I said, well, baby, for girls, we put it in their girl parts, and for boys, we put it in their boy parts. And she looked at me and she said, even old people? I said, yeah, baby, even old people. She said, Daddy, I'm going to walk away and act like we never had this conversation. So we continued on, and we got all the way to our last semester. And while at clinical, I got a call that my daughter had went in cardiac arrest. After a short stint in the hospital, God decided that the work he had to do with her was more important than the work he needed her to do here on earth. Of course, I was devastated. I didn't care if the sun rose the next day or not. See, the thing is, if a wife loses her husband, she's a widow. If a husband loses his wife, he's a widower. If a child loses his parents, he's an orphan. But there are no words for a parent that loses a child. So, with all the things that I was dealing with, this group of guys up here would always call. We're here with you. We're praying for you. Sending cards. Offering to go out to eat. Anything. And I got called into the office and they told me, Andre, you need to take time off and go be with your family. The school didn't have to do that. Actually, but it did. And they said, when you come back, if you're not ready, we'll handle that whatever way you want to. And so, I went away and didn't even know if I would come back. I didn't know if I would come back to school or not. But it was my family in Georgia, my mother, my wife, my aunt. They would always tell me, she's still watching. She's still cheering for Daddy. So I came back to school and kind of half-heartedly. I don't even know if I came to school because I wanted to pass. I think I came to school just because it was expected. Needless to say, the first month of school was horrible. I messed up almost everything. And one day, while in clinical, I had my instructor call me to the side. And she said, Andre, one of your patients, you have a cardiac arrest patient. She said, if you're not ready, then we can change your assignment. She said, if you feel like you're not ready anytime during the day, we can change your assignment. But wherever you decide, I'm gonna be right here with you. That 15 seconds changed everything. I don't think I would be here if it hadn't happened. Because an instructor instructs. That's all they do. They have a certain thing that they need to teach you and a certain thing they need to test you on. But what she did for me was she told me that I care more about you than what I have to teach you. And that I'm gonna be here with you. And you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be strong all the time. You can show weakness and we will work through it. And that has been my experience throughout Del Tech. This degree means something different to everybody on this stage. But to me, it means I get to stand here and look to heaven and say, Janiyah, Daddy didn't give up. Daddy did his best. Daddy kept his promise.